Hello and welcome back. So what we're going to do is that you're going to follow my lead and we're going to just solve this little problem of why our values are not writing, well not our values but our strings are not writing as they want on here. So it says a library maintains a list of books. This list of books is saved in a text file where each line of the file represents one book. Now you know that that's not happening and we need to make that happen. Now maybe, I don't know, you've already scratched around on the internet and found a way to do it, okay? But what I'd like you to do is follow my lead on this, just so you know I can teach you a few ways to sort of catch errors and understand, you know, how our placement needs to work and why it's important, okay? So let's just stick to what we know to begin with, okay? So now, I've already set something up on here, but I'm going to start again actually with you because I kind of changed my mind. So let's just get rid of this. Okay, so firstly, okay, we're going to use with open because we was using that earlier, okay, and we know that this is called test doc. Okay, so just put test doc. Now we know writing a file will simply write over, txt. We know writing a file over is going to eliminate the data that's already there. So we don't want that to happen, okay? So we're just going to put append, all right, as you know. Okay, so we're appending a file. So it's as a file. Right. Now, what I'm going to do is, so I'm going to basically enter, okay, my document. So what I want to put in my document. So I'm just going to call this enter, this variable, input, and I'm just going to put here testing input, okay? Right, because I want to test that the input's actually working first before I put anything else in place. Right, so now I'm going to file, because we know this is a file, so we're opening up this file. You can call that F if you want, okay, or whatever else makes sense to you. And I'm going to write it, and obviously I want my variable to write, so whatever goes in my variable goes in a file. And you may have scratched around the internet maybe, and you may have already found out that to write a new line is simply \n for new, okay? So now I'm going to close that, and I'm going to give that a go. So I'm going to run it, see how that works. And there's an invalid syntax, of course there is. Oh yes, I know, let's see what it is. I haven't put the plus, okay, so it need to concatenate the variable, whatever string goes in there with new line, okay, so it comes together and then it does its thing and says, right, that needs to go on a new line. So let's give that another go. Right, now testing input, and I'm just going to simply put line 1. Okay, so right, it says data is not defined in line 4, okay. Right, so let's take a look here. Right, where did I put data? Oh, why did I put data close? Okay, that was silly of me. Of course it's not defined. Right, so what I need to put as closed is, now that's what I haven't done, is I've said with open, but I've missed out a line, so I've already called it data in my head, but I didn't put it in, okay? So data equals open for the file, so I want them to open file, and I'm just going to repeat this here. So I guess I was thinking a bit far ahead there. So, and obviously append it, just tell it to append. Right, let's give that another try, okay? Here we go. Right, line 1. Okay, I'm going to close that. Now I'm going to open up my test doc, and I've got line 1. Okay, I appear to have got that more than once. Right, So I'm going to give that another go actually. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to close this. I'm going to delete everything off here and I'm going to save it. Right, okay, so that's saved. So now that's blank. And I'm going to open that again. So one thing you know about programming is obviously you always end up running into one error after another after another. Okay. Line 1. Right, so now we may have seen, we may already know what it is. It's probably because I've got 2 appends. Okay, so, oh, line 1, there we go. So maybe it did do it earlier. So, right, there's no problem. We know it's on one line. That's all fine. Right, so what we want to do now is obviously we want the user to be able to put in, you know, the library files time and time again. Because at the moment they're going to keep opening and closing the program, opening and closing the program. And that's not sufficient. Okay, so that's not going to help us. So what I'm going to do is I want to put in a loop. Okay, so I'm going to go up here and I'm going to put in while, yeah, true, and I'm going to put all this in a loop. Now some of you are pretty skilled at loops. With me, I have to sort of make mistakes and fix them, okay? But some of you, you know, you get them straight away, which is fantastic. So hopefully you might even get ahead on my videos, all right? So I'm just going to call this loop because I want it to loop. And I'm going to say, would you like to enter more test data? Okay, and the answer is yes stroke no, and I need to pop these into a string. Okay, right, so now I'm just going to put my simple if statement. If loop equals yes, continue. If it doesn't, then I want the cycle to break. Okay, let's run this. Let's see what happens. Right, so I'm going to put in line 1 again. Okay, yes, line 2, yes, line 3, yes, line 4, and no, break. Okay, right, so now I'm going to check my file. Right, do you think there are going to be any mistakes? I'd like you to think about it first, so maybe pause the video if you want. Okay, so let's take a look. Okay, so I've got line 1, line 2, line 3, line 4. Okay, so that's worked out pretty well. Okay, so I'm going to test that again. I'm going to save this. Right, now I'm going to run this again. Right, so testing input. Right, line. In fact, I'm going to do ABC. A, enter data, yes. B, yes. C, yes. D. Right, and the answer's no. Now we should have all the letters of the alphabet up till D. I'm going to take a look at this and I'm going to see if it's worked. Right, we've got all the letters of the alphabet up to D, so we know this works. We know it works perfectly. So now what we're going to do is we're going to apply this So that's our test done. We know that works. Okay, so we figured that out. So we've got while true. We've opened the documents here. Okay, and we've got our variable to enter, and we've entered our file right. So now you should be able to see exactly how to apply this to your file that you may have been following with me, or if you've been making one on your own. Okay, so get rid of that. Now I'm going to go here to task 3, and I'm going to go to my library database. No, I'm going to open it up here. And I'm going to look down here and think, right, at the moment the problem is, as we know, is our BSG library database is a mess. Right, let's just delete all that data to begin with. Save. There we go. So now it's blank, and that's fine. That's all good. Right. So now we go down here and we can see this is where it writes onto our file. So hopefully you've already worked this out and thought, right, I'm just going to put in here to begin with, simplest way, \n. Okay. Now I'm going to run this and I'm going to see if it works. Right, so at the moment I want to put in a new book, and I'm going to put in a couple of books. Okay, so I'm going to put in an entire book of Mice and Men. Okay, read that at school, by John Steinbeck. Okay, and genre of the book I would say is obviously fiction. And I want to put another entry in. Enter the title of the book. So I'm going to put in there, Handmaid's Tale. Spelling everything wrong. And I need to hurry this up. Right, genre of the book, dystopian. Right, let's just leave it there for those two for the moment. Okay, let's see if it's written onto our file. And that is successful. Okay, so we've done it. Now apply that to yours. What we're going to do on the next video is we're going to perform the search. Okay.